and he's in trouble. He's going to run. He's going to get the first down.
Don't sleep on those legs. Oh, he faked the slide. Sauce time. The Pitt Panthers have pulled a stunning upset over the West Virginia Mountaineers.
And Johnny Majors gets a ride across the field.
Yeah, you know, we built this podcast with NIL in mind, and that's not the old NIL. That's the Jesus Christ and His name, image, and likeness. That's what we build this podcast on, and that's why we do what we do.
And I'd just like to say, you know, on our offensive philosophy of this podcast, we've been big proponents of the RPO, which is reading Scripture, praying, and obeying the word of the Lord Jesus Christ. Through all things are possible.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Amen.
Go Tigers.
So that's how we're going to announce our turn to being a Clemson podcast. So if you've been rope-a-doped along, sorry, but that's where the money is. And listen, the money is in the name, image, and likeness of Jesus Christ, our Savior.
Jesus Christ, our Savior. All-time quote by Dabo. It was one of those things where, like, that press conference came out, and I saw it, like, 4 or 5 different times on my timeline being like, is this real? Did he really say that?
Did you see the clip where he smirks? He's like, he knows what he's about to do, too. He's like, he's had that one cooking. Like, he's been in the notes app trying to figure this one out.
His PR team was like, you want to get a laugh at this press conference?
Yeah.
Here you go, Dabo. Here you go.
I don't want to believe that was ghostwritten. I want to believe that he was in the studio cooking that one up.
Oh, I hope so. I could see it.
100%. Like, Dabo would definitely do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not a Clemson podcast. Psych! Welcome back to Simplified Podcast. I'm your host, Zach Kaminsky. I'm joined by my co-host, Mason Kling. How you doing tonight?
I am bowl drunk. I can't get enough of it. The games just keep coming. It's awesome. I mean, we're in the midst of it.
There's one on right now, or not right now. It's tonight at 9. Very weird for this bowl to be starting at 9. But before we get into more of our bowl previews, it's National Signing Day. Happy National Signing Day to always celebrate, drink responsibly, share these gifts with your family and friends. Make sure to be tweeting at recruits saying they made a mistake choosing one school over the other, telling them that they are just tweet mean words at them if they flipped to your rival school or to another blue blood. And I think that's really the joy of the holiday, and that's what the season's all about.
The season of giving and giving hate on Twitter specifically.
I mean, listen, it's the season of taking with all these flips. Am I right? What's the deal with all these recruits?
Jerry Seinfeld stand-up bit. Insert here.
Yeah. Okay, if Jerry Seinfeld is going to be a fan of a college football team, who would it be?
That's a good question.
He's a New York guy, but there's not a lot of good New York teams, right?
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know, who and George, who could him and George, like, sit down at their diner and complain about, is who I'm thinking of.
I think they have to be rivals, right? Like, I think George has to be a fan of a woe-begone, like, team that's always down on its luck. And then Jerry's just like, yeah, we went 12-1. I'm not really happy about it.
So Alabama then?
Alabama, and like George is a Mississippi State fan.
Yeah, that plays.
We lost 10-0 to Florida. I can't believe it.
And then Kramer is like, he's a wild card. Who's a wild card team?
Kramer, he's
Utah.
Yeah, Kramer's a Utah fan. I guess we got derailed by that.
Newest segment. We'll just pick a sitcom every week and pick who the characters.
Always Sunny next week.
All right, that works.
Let's get into Pitt's recruiting class after discussing Seinfeld and football and how really NIL interacts with all of that. There are 19 high school commits in this class. There are 3 transfers. Let's start with the transfers. As we've said before, Phil Dracovic, he announced this very early into the sort of the transfer window. He officially signed on today. Now, Donovan McMillan, who is a former Pittsburgh high school player, really played at Gateway. He's a safety for Florida, transferring back to Pittsburgh. And then I have a video, and this is, I don't know how to say. It's Christian Vier.
Yeah.
We're going to play the video live on air because none of us know how to say his name. So let's just get that.
We should pronounce it how?
Veyer.
Veyer.
So okay, yeah, okay.
Veyer.
Yeah, Veyer is the French way to say it. Over the years, I've heard
Yeah.
like too many things. So Veilleux became like a big one for English speakers, but the way you probably say it in French is Veyer.
And that's how you want us to say it.
Yeah.
I got you.
Veyer. Christian Veyer. By the way, Yinzers are 110% going to call him Christian Veilleux, like Mario Lemieux.
Yes. Yeah, they saw one guy with an X on the end of his name, and they're sticking with those phonetics for the rest of their life.
I really need to get my Pittsburgh accent back into work so I can start doing, Veilleux. they should be playing Veilleux right now. I hate Dracovic.
Okay. Quick note on Dracovic. Saw a tweet or a quote. I'm sorry. Somebody tweeted out a quote from Narduzzi. That was like he brings a lot of like leadership and kind of like resolve to the team. He was like something that we were kind of missing a lot last year. Chirping Keaton on this.
I wanna. I mean, obviously, Narduzzi's gonna get his fucking jabs in. He is maybe the he may be one of like the low key most diva head coaches in college football. He loves complaining. He loves firing off a comment. I got a bone to pick with this, Mr. Narduzzi. If there was a lack of leadership from your quarterback last year, why were you playing him?
Yeah.
Why were you playing him, bud?
Yeah, that's a great point. That is a great point.
I mean, it feels nice to kind of have all my complaints validated by my head coach, but, buddy, I don't know about that.
Can't have it both ways.
You can't have it both ways, especially because you stuck with him the whole season, especially really propping him up. So.
It was like one of those things, too, where I think that one of the guys we got from the transfer portal, he did a similar situation when I think he was like Pitt was in his top 3. He ended up going to Florida.
McMillan?
Yeah, McMillan. And then he, like, Narduzzi kind of chirped him. And
yes, he did when he saw him in Florida. He did either on his TV spot.
I don't remember the exact tweet or how it happened.
It was either a tweet or it was on his like radio spot on the fan.
Yeah, that's right. So it's like I love the energy, but also don't like burn bridges and stuff like that. I mean, Slovis is fine because he's gone, he's out of here.
Yeah, but I guess he really didn't burn a bridge, but like. It's nice to be catty, but like, don't burn bridges. Just recruit better locally.
Yeah, just do better the first time.
Honestly, just be better. It's not that hard. Okay, let's go through the high school players. So we're gonna start. It'll seem a little disjointed. We're gonna go down 247's list, and they're listed in descending order of their composite score.
So hand up. This will be the first time that I've seen the majority of these, unless they were verbally committed. For sure, beforehand.
A bunch of them are verbally committed. I think there were a couple of late ads over, like, whenever Dracovic announced he's going to transfer, they got a couple of other guys.
Right.
And then there was one player who committed day of. He had his final 3. We'll get to him, but he has his final 3 decision today.
Cool.
Okay. Let's start off. Linebacker Jordan Bass from Hampton, Virginia. By the way, every single one of these guys is a 3-star. I'm not going to say 3-star 19 times.
Say it. Emphasis.
There was some concern with him maybe flipping to Virginia Tech. They were able to hang on to him. He's a lot of the Pitt State media, like Chris Peak, Jim Hammond, are really excited about this guy. They think he's a really good recruit. Isaiah Neal from our very own Baltimore, Maryland. 6'3", 265 D tackle. He's projected to play interior D-line. 10th ranked recruit in the state of Maryland. This is another guy that had an impressive offer sheet. And this is one of our D-linemen that we're going to keep getting. I really like this guy. He's the commit whose mom is very active on Twitter, like being like all out Pitt. I think they had the Pitt Christmas tree.
Wow.
Yeah. Blue. I think it was blue branches and gold tinsel.
I gotta figure out where I can get one of them.
And they made it in a lab. Yeah, so it was real. It was not fake. My sources are telling me.
They were physically and metaphorically in the lab for that one.
Okay, yeah. All right. Genetic engineering. It comes from a smart family. Next up is Cruz Brookins from Homestead, Pennsylvania. Safety played at Steel Valley. This was the player I was just talking about. He had a final 3 of us, Cincinnati, and Syracuse. He was one of the best players on that Steel Valley team, 10th ranked recruit in the state of Pennsylvania. It is very nice to have a guy commit on National Signing Day from the Pittsburgh area, I believe it brings us to just 2 players from the Pittsburgh area, but it's just nice to have a guy like this. And like I think that's the same high school that Paris Ford went to, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, correct.
Right.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool.
And our good friends Henry and Blaze, shout out.
Shout out to Henry and Blaze. Even though Henry's gone missing.
Yes.
Well, not really. We know where he is.
Yeah. Kent, on the other hand.
Oh yeah, we didn't even address that. Yeah, Kent's actually he's going door to door, offering our NIL deal, which is yet to exist. We're tampering. We're tampering big time.
We will shout you out on the pod if you come to Pittsburgh.
Hell yeah.
You just have to ask.
Get those numbers up. Next up is Shadarian Harrison, a cornerback from Lakeland, Florida. Now, he's a top 125 player in Florida, which is a bigger deal than, say, Pennsylvania. But 6'1" corner, which is taller than your usual Narduzzi corner. But
love that.
This is another guy that the state media is really big on. Next up, Kenny Johnson, wide receiver from Dallastown, Pennsylvania. Where's Dallastown? I'm not a Pennsylvania guy.
That is in York County.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I played them a bunch in high school, actually. So very familiar with Dallastown.
Good team?
Yeah. Yeah. They're one of the bigger schools in the area. So
Oh yeah.
I honestly haven't heard too much about this guy. I knew that Pitt was on his radar, and I think he committed a while ago.
He was an over the summer guy, I think.
Yeah.
All I know about him is he's had a couple of kick return, like long touchdowns for scores in his senior year.
Yeah.
Moving on, Antonio Camon is a edge rusher from Tampa, Florida. Now we're getting into the O-line. Ryan Coretta from Columbus, Ohio. I believe he projects as the tackle in this class. Rasheem Biles is an athlete from Pickerington, Ohio. I believe he's slotted to play either corner or safety. Brian Lovelace is the other Whippeal recruit from Leechburg, Pennsylvania. He is a 4,000-yard rusher in high school for his career, but he'll be playing linebacker at Pitt. Lamar Seymour is a wide receiver from Miami, Florida. We actually flipped him from the U.
Love it.
Love that.
Love it. Got to think of the game had a little bit to do with that one.
Oh, maybe. TJ Harvison is a running back from Bowdoin, Georgia. I believe we touched on him last week. He had a 2,000-yard season and 200-yard performance in his state championship game. That just happened over the weekend in his win. Jesse Anderson, an athlete from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I believe he's another one slated to go to the defensive side of the ball, if I'm not mistaken. Zion Fowler is a recommit, actually. People can do that. They can recommit. He was originally committed out of Jersey City. He's slated to play wide receiver at Pitt. Montravius Lloyd is our other running back commit in the class from St. Petersburg, Florida. He's listed as an athlete, but he is slated to play running back. B.J. Williams is an interior O-lineman from Fairburn, Georgia. I believe they want him to play center. I saw a quote like he's got good football IQ. They want him to play center because of that. Next up is Israel Polk. This is one of his late commits. He is a athlete, wide receiver from St. John Bosco in Bellflower, California. He was one of their leading receivers on one of year in year out the best high school teams in the nation. And
why the 3 stars then?
I don't know.
The ranking system is.
We'll go on a slight detour here. The ranking system is whack because both Kenny Minchie and another recruit got their 4th star after they flipped to a different school, being at Notre Dame and Mississippi State. So whatever. I'm a stars don't matter guy because Sebastian Dennis was a 2-star, Kalijah Cansey was a 2-star, Izzy was a 3-star. Not a big deal to me. Ty Ray is Ty Ray the tackle then? I think Ty Ray he's listed as a tackle from Apopka, Florida. I think they want him to play guard. I might be mixing up him and Coretta, but I'm pretty sure they want Ray to play at the guard because this guy is fucking huge if I remember right. He's 6'6", 300.
Wow.
Yeah, I think they might even list him at 6'7". The late recruit is all-time name Maverick Gracio from West Palm Beach, Florida. 6'3", 220 edge rusher. I think they said he had 22 tackles for loss in his senior season.
That's ridiculous.
But ridiculous numbers, but literally all-time name team. Ty Dieffenbach is the quarterback of the class. He's out of Agoura Hills, California, which is 2 California recruits in the same site for Pitt. Not Not common. They're going to have a rude awakening their first fall semester on campus.
Yeah.
And the last one to not sign their NLI yet is Sam Carpenter, the kicker out of Foxborough, Massachusetts. And that rounds up Pitt's 2023 recruiting class. There's a lot of players to be excited about. Obviously, we lost our 4-star quarterback, but at other areas, there's a lot to be excited about, and especially because following up last year, we had a very small class due to all of our fifth-year COVID shenanigans. I don't know. It's fun to watch recruits and say, well, these guys have a lot of promise, and you do the same thing every year. But
yeah, absolutely. It's all upside at this point. You can only go up.
Yeah.
Do they have rankings for where we're at with
they
Pitt so
do
far?
have. So 247 has us at 49.
Okay.
The composite rank is 47. Transfer rank is 48. But transfer rank is like, if you have a lot of transfers, you can be higher up.
Right.
So sort of in that 50 area. I think I've seen anywhere between like 52 and 49 is the highest I've seen on 247.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, Pitt's not really a school that we develop a lot of talent. Like you said, there's 2-star guys that have come in are probably going to go to the draft. So with all these 3-star guys, I think right where we're at is we got a lot to kind of develop those guys, and they'll become a better class than what they're ranked probably.
I mean, also the other thing to consider too is that looking at a quick look at the rankings, we're the highest team ranked without any 5 or 4 stars.
Give me the 15 to 20 quality 3 stars over 1 4-star.
It's nice to have. It's nice to have the 4-star because it looks pretty, but it is something to be said that there's obviously a lot of quality here with a class of only 19 guys, and they're still above classes like Duke, who has 26 commits, or like Georgia Tech, all these schools that we should be above.
Yeah.
And you know what? At least we're not Indiana, who I believe is down at the G5 level. I saw this earlier. Yeah, Indiana's at 70, so we could... Listen, it can always be worse. it can always be bad. It can always be bad. That's one thing I always say. It can always just be bad.
Could.
All right. I think that's all on recruiting news, right?
Yeah. I mean, we'll have all spring to kind of talk more about those guys coming in.
We'll get the quotes from the coaches and all that.
Overall, pretty good day.
Yeah, pretty good day. Now let's move on to the other news out of Pitt before we go on to the bowl games. Talking about bowl opt-outs and players declaring for the NFL draft. There's a lot of opt-outs in this game. And I'm not a guy who complains about opt-outs because if you got a good grade on your draft projection, go get your money.
It sucks, but you sit down and you put yourself in their shoes and you're like, I would do the exact same thing.
Absolutely. And I saw a lot of people think is this sustainable for bowl games? It's like, have you ever been to a bowl game? It's not about the win. It's about going to an interesting place, getting a little vacation. And honestly, it's an exhibition. You should be using this time to look at your guys for next year. Unless you're in the playoff, you should be looking at who's playing next year.
And it is sustainable for bowl games, I think, because the more the playoff expands, you're only going to have more bowl games that actually matter.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
So it is changing a little bit, but I think that'll counter it.
I think that all that's fear mongering. The bowl games aren't going to matter. Yes, they are. Especially at G5 level, players are still going to play.
Yeah,
and
it's only the top 20% of players, probably even less than that. Probably top 10% of players are sitting out.
Yeah, 100%.
So
All right. First off, this one was expected. Izzy Abanikanda has declared for the NFL draft and will be sitting out the bowl game. This one was expected.
Shout out Izzy.
Shout out Izzy.
Great career. Can't wait to hear him say University of Pittsburgh on Sundays.
That's another guy off for Sundays. Servassier Dennis has declared for the NFL draft. He'll be sitting out the bowl game.
This one kind of surprised me. If any of those guys were going to come back, I thought he might be the one.
Yeah.
He definitely deserved, he is good enough to be in the NFL and probably should go to the draft, but I felt like he wanted to come back and play one more year.
He did feel like a candidate to be a one more year type of guy, but he's had such an amazing career. I was thinking about it, 2-star recruit out of Syracuse, and then he's had some of the biggest moments. sacks and big-time sacks and crucial moments. The pick six in that Clemson game will live on like forever in my mind. Like one of probably the best players to come through this program in a long time, and I'm looking forward to having his name called.
Yeah.
Next up, defensive end Deslin Alexander, who had 5.5 sacks this year, has declared for the NFL draft and will be sitting out at the bowl game. Another guy, he probably got a good grade back. He started all year. He has good numbers, and I didn't see him coming back for another year with all the guys coming up.
No.
Okay. Next up, Gabe Hoy, offensive tackle, has declared for the draft. Will be sitting out the bowl game to prepare for it. Kind of shocking. I didn't see him jumping to the draft, but sure.
Yeah.
There's guys like Ryan Baer behind him who are ready to play. Now, Kalijah Cansey is still out because of shoulder surgery. He has not yet declared for the draft, but I think we can all expect him to leave. Like, ACC Defensive Player of the Year, finalist for the Nagurski Award, finalist for the Outland Trophy. Like, he got his laurels, and it's time for him to get paid.
Yeah, that's not an if, but when. We'll get the word on that one.
It's a formality, right?
Yeah.
Like, we all know he's going to the draft. Next one is safety Brandon Hill. He is also declaring for the draft, skipping the bowl game. This one actually surprised me, too. I thought he'd be back another year.
Yeah, I thought playing safety for one of the best defenses in the country. I thought he could have built the resume a little bit more. Mm-hmm. That could just be the selfishness of me wanting him to come back. But yeah, hopefully, he has a great NFL career as well. Mm-hmm.
The other draft opt-out is Carter Warren, who was the starting left tackle who was hurt this year. He was looked at as one of the top O tackles coming into the year. He got a Senior Bowl invite last year that he turned down to come back. Not surprising, he was out of eligibility, but best luck to him. Hopefully he's recovered from his injury.
Yeah.
Other than that, Eric Howlett has declared for the draft, but he is playing in the bowl game.
Dog.
So the players we had not heard any word about are, Howard Baldonado has accepted a Senior Bowl invite, so we can assume that he's gone. No word on if he's playing in the game. He did sit out the last couple of games with injury. Excuse me. No word on Jared Wayne. And then Marcus Williams, I think, is the other one. Are sort of waiting for what's the word on him. Mm-hmm. I'd love to have Marcus Williams back, one of the best corners in the ACC. Jared Wayne, you know this by now. We're the world's #1 Jared Wayne podcast. Would love to have him back. I don't know what his NFL looks are going to be like, what his draft grade is, but he is a prototypical NFL guy.
Yeah, he has the size. He can burn a little bit enough to.
He's got some hops too.
Yeah.
And then obviously Keaton Slovis and John Morgan are not playing due to it being in the transfer portal. John Morgan found a home today. He is going to Arkansas. No word on Slovis.
I think it's a great fit for John Morgan.
It's somewhere where he can contribute and he can play his last season, and we wish him luck. We always like John Morgan. I think his reason for transferring was, he did get passed up on the depth chart, but it's noble, not to try and stick around, take playing time from other players, and try and build your resume elsewhere where you think you can compete for more playing time. Yeah,
it's also an SEC team that I can actually root for. I can root for.
Good uniforms, by the way. I love the shade of red in the Arkansas uniforms.
Yeah.
Is that it for Pitt? Do we have anything else? No,
because we'll go more in depth. We'll do a whole next week. We're going to do a preview of the Pitt Bowl game specifically, and then the remainder of bowls that we don't cover today.
Oh, one thing I almost forgot. It is very unfortunate news. The Sun Bowl is officially Nick Patty's last ride.
Yeah,
it was announced today. One last ride in the Patty wagon. Where he's going to be riding off in the El Paso sunset across the border, where he will become a Walter White style individual.
Where we ask, was he real? Was he just a figment of imagination?
Hey, Nick Patty's real as long as you believe.
He's like Peter Pan.
He's like he steps onto the Polar Express, never to be seen again. Yeah. This is sort of expected. Probably wasn't going to compete in his last year. Hey man, props to you. Sticking it out. True Pitt guy. I am thinking about dropping a Nick Patty career highlight tape before the Sun Bowl.
That would be awesome.
I'm thinking the one play that has to be in there, the pass interference he got called against Virginia to save the game. Like Kenny got hurt. Because when I think of Nick Patty, that's the play I think of.
Hopefully he gives us some even better memories in the Sun Bowl.
I mean, hey, man, I just wanted to ball out. Just going on a high note.
Dude, even if, like, I guess Signetti might not let him, but I was going to say, just absolutely let him cook. Just let him get back there. Absolute gunslinger game.
You're not going to show anything. It's Nick Patty.
Yeah.
Fuck it, dude. Fucking be legends. Let Nick Patty cook. Let him throw 500 passes for 1,000,000 yards. Bring back Whipple for the Nick Patty legacy game.
That'd be awesome.
What if they co-OC'd? Like,
I mean, that's like oil and water. Like they just don't mix at all. There would be no concept they agree on.
Well, it's like Whipple gets a drive, then Signetti gets a drive, and then like they have to like rock paper scissors on the third drive, and all following drives, right?
We should just do at that point. Just do like the player controlled league. Just let us.
Yeah,
let us call the player.
Yeah, just give us the 2 playbooks, the giant playbooks. Oh, fuck, this looks good. All right, bowls. More bowls. Bowl season. We're in the thick of it. We're going to start with the Quick Lane Bowl day after Christmas and go through the bowls on December 30th, the Friday before New Year's. Like Mason said earlier, we're going to skip over the Sun Bowl. We want to do an in-depth preview of that game for y'all.
You're going to know stuff about the Sun Bowl you wish you never knew.
God, if only you knew what's coming. All right. Quick Lane Bowl. Monday, December 26th, 2:30 p.m. Eastern from Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. New Mexico State versus Bowling Green. I don't have a lot on this one. I guess props to New Mexico. Let's try and find one good thing in each bowl, right? One good thing here. Mexico State. Congrats on making a bowl game. Y'all don't do that very much.
Yeah.
It's like
Bowling Green barely getting in by the hair of their teeth as well at 6-6.
Or it's New Mexico State. That's flirting. Bowling Green's harassment.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Very weird time for this game. I guess it is an observed holiday, so it will be off. But 2:30 p.m. Weird time for that game. Yeah, let's move.
They're burying it.
Yeah, it should be like a premier time slot. It's just like, oh, go to Detroit.
Yeah.
Move to Tuesday, December 27th at noon Eastern, the Camellia Bowl from Montgomery, Alabama. Georgia Southern versus Buffalo Bulls. Oh shit, we didn't even pick that one. I'm gonna pick New Mexico State.
Give me Bowling Green.
Okay, fuck it. Head to head.
Mac, baby.
All right, going back to the Camellia Bowl, Georgia Southern versus Buffalo. They're both 6-6 as well, right?
Yeah. This is another. Thanks for making a bowl game.
Yeah, I mean Buffalo had to play Akron during championship week to make the bowl. They almost lost that game. Georgia Southern 6-6. They beat I think App State in their final game to make a bowl as well in overtime. This is Clay Helton versus Buffalo. I'm going to ride with Buffalo because I like the uniforms and I'm from New York. Okay. I have no other reason for that. I know that Georgia Southern is actually one of the top passing teams in the nation this year. Actually, Jalen Barden is now a Georgia Southern Eagle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that'll be my. I'm rocking with Georgia Southern then, just for that reason.
Another head-to-head.
Yeah.
Perfect. Staying on Tuesday at 3:15 Eastern from Gerald J. Ford Stadium in Dallas, Texas, the First Responder Bowl, Memphis versus Utah State. Another 6-6 bowl. I have no juice on this one. Memphis is disappointing. They used to be one of the top teams in the AAC, and Utah State absolutely tripped over itself after winning the Mountain West last year. I got nothing here.
Yeah, this is an ugly one. I'm gonna go with Memphis is gonna win, so that's my pick. But Utah State is gonna cover because their basketball team is really good right now.
Yeah.
So they get the bump. They get the campus bump because everybody's hyping.
They get the basketball bump?
Yeah.
The hardwood bump? I'll ride with Memphis as well. I think they're the better team.
Yeah.
As well on Tuesday, 6:45 p.m., the Birmingham Bowl from Birmingham, Alabama. Coastal Carolina versus Eastern Carolina. This is the battle of who gets to be the real Eastern Carolina school.
And you know who it's going to be? ECU.
Let's
go Pirates, baby.
I'm going to pick ECU as well. Grayson McCall is sitting out of this game because he's in the transfer portal. I think they got no juice. Jamie Chadwell is also not at Coastal, so give me the Pirates.
Yeah, I think if you flip those two factors, Jamie Chadwell's still there.
Grayson Call's playing. Yeah, 100%.
It probably. I think I have a 7.5 point favorite for ECU. If they were both playing, it's probably a pick 'em. If not, Coastal being favored by a point or two, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like ECU.
Also, did you see that McCall's going to Kentucky?
Filling in for Levis, huh?
Yeah, I think he's much better than Levis.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how he fits in there.
I like that fit a lot, actually. I think. Moving on, 10:15 p.m. The Guaranteed Rate Bowl from Phoenix, Arizona, being played at Chase Field. Oh, this is another baseball stadium bowl.
Huh.
I didn't know they played. This is in the Diamondback Stadium. It's Wisconsin versus Oklahoma State. These are two derogatory 6-6 teams. Is Oklahoma State 6-6?
They're 7-5.
Okay, they're 6-6 spiritually.
Yes. Yeah.
I know Spencer Sanders isn't playing.
Graham Mertz is in transfer portal.
I think he's going to Florida.
Really?
Yeah, that's a mid-off. Him versus whoever the Ohio State backup was, that's a mid-off for that quarterback battle. I don't know. Wisconsin, they got Braylon Allen still, right? I think.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh my God, this is these are two teams that I picked both of them to win. Well, I picked them to be in the conference championship, and they both just didn't even come close.
Yeah.
So I want nothing to do with either of these teams. I guess literally just because they have the better record. Let's go Oklahoma State.
All right, that's fair. Wednesday, December 28th, 2 p.m., the Military Bowl, UCF versus Duke from the Navy Stadium in Annapolis. This is the first one I think in this segment that actually has some juice on it. Mm-hmm. Duke, obviously, a really good team, going 8-4 under first year coach Mike Elko. UCF, I think they're fake good. They're 9-4. 9-4. I don't really think that John Rice Plumlee is really all that good, and I just like Duke in this game. I think they're actually quite interesting offense. Riley Leonard really stepped up this year, and that defense for Mike Elko is pretty nasty. Yeah,
I like Duke. I like Duke as well. This will be a good kind of feel like see how Duke is going to go into next season. I know we can't put a lot of weight on bowl stuff, but they probably don't have.
They have a lot of guys returning. Yeah,
they have people returning, so it'll be a good kind of.
I know that Riley Leonard will be back. He's only a sophomore. He's just a sophomore.
All right, so they're pretty young. It'll be a good experience for a lot of those young guys in their first bowl game.
Especially, yeah. I mean, the last time Duke went to a bowl was.
I was going to say it's been forever, right?
We can look. When you look that up, I'll keep moving on. On Wednesday, 5:30 p.m., the Liberty Bowl from Memphis, Tennessee, Kansas versus Arkansas. I'm pretty excited for this one. I don't know if KJ Jefferson is playing, but I'm excited to watch Kansas football. They're good. Jaden Daniels is back. I like Kansas in this one. I like their offense so much. That sort of modern triple option sort of thing, what they got going under Lance Leipold. This is one to watch if you want to watch some crazy fun plays happen.
Looks like they actually did make a bowl in 2018. They played in the Independence Bowl.
Oh, good for Duke.
Yeah. But I have to imagine that was like a 6-6 season.
I can look that up. What do you got on Kansas, Arkansas?
So I like Kansas in this game.
Oh, 8-5 on that Duke team.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. Huh. Oh, was that the Daniel Jones team?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
That makes sense. I like Kansas. You get Kansas and Arkansas. I like Kansas in this game. They've had a great year. Again, another team that's, speaking of first bowl game in a while.
Oh, God.
First time they've been bowling in a while, even though they just barely made it in. But I think they have a little bit more to play for than the Razorbacks do.
Oh, absolutely. And this is Kansas's first bowl since 2008.
Yeah, so they were actually much worse than Duke.
So does the winner of this game get to determine how do you say it? So if Kansas wins, it's Arkansas. If Arkansas wins, it's Kansas.
That's just, yeah.
All right, moving on. Wednesday at 8 o'clock, December 28th, the Holiday Bowl from Petco Park in San Diego, California. Another baseball stadium bowl. I like this one because Petco Park has that weird left field with the buildings. Looks really cool. Love that shit. Oregon versus North Carolina. This one is banger alert.
Points alert.
Points alert.
Yeah. I wonder what. I'm going to check the line quick for that.
The Oregon's favored by a lot in this game.
I meant the over-under. I'm sorry. 73 points in that game is what it will cost you. That's a lot, but guess what?
We
kind of like it.
Kind of like it. I mean, Drake May is playing. Bo Nix is coming back for another year, I believe. This is points.
Saw a tweet today. Totally rumors. Don't even remember the source. Could be totally not true. But I saw that he had 2 offers, NIL offers for over $5 million to transfer.
Oh, Drake May?
Yes.
You know who the source was on that?
Who?
Pat Narduzzi. He said that on his radio show.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he said like, I've heard rumors. I won't say the schools, but they're $5 million each for Drake May. That's who could buy this? Texas A&M because they're not going to buy. They're going to do Jimbo's buyout.
Which cheaper, Jimbo's buyout or Drake May?
Drake May. Drake May by a wide margin. This is actually a fun game. I'm actually looking forward to this one. I'm going to take Oregon because I think their defense get a stop and North Carolina's can't.
Yeah. I'm with you.
All right.
I'm with you.
Moving on, 9 o'clock, we've got concurrent bowl games. The Texas Bowl from Houston, Texas, NRG Stadium, Houston Texans Stadium. A lot of Texas in this. It's Texas Tech versus Ole Miss.
Another points game.
Another points game.
We're going to get 2 points games at the same time. This would be a crazy, just parlay these together and take the over.
I don't know if I like the over in this because I think Ole Miss has been on a backslide the last couple of weeks. I don't know how many points they can get, but it is Texas Tech. But so maybe what's the over in there in this one?
69.5 for this
one.
one.
Oh my gosh! Okay.
If you want to challenge, all right, this is parlay these games together, bet the over, crack a beer, and let madness rush over you.
Is this the inaugural Simplify Challenge?
Yeah. Simplify exclusive overs challenge.
We don't have an affiliate with a gambling company yet, but we're working on it. It's our buddy Steve who runs a book.
Yeah, you have to wire money to an offshore account.
Only Bitcoin, by the way. And you'll be paid in the Iraqi dinar.
Yes.
As far as a team I like in this game, I'm going to take Texas Tech. Just better vibes.
I'm gonna go come to the sip. Let's go Ole Miss.
All right.
SEC on this one.
All right. Moving on to Thursday, December 29th. The Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl because so many people in New York City need a fucking ride-on mower. The greatest sponsor of all time, being held in Yankee Stadium, Bronx, New York. I've been to 2 of these games, actually.
I'm sure they're fun.
They are fun. I mean, if you sit on the third baseline, you get a really good view of the stadium. It is just ridiculously cold.
Yeah.
Even at 2 o'clock, it's dark by the third quarter.
Yeah.
But it's Syracuse versus Minnesota. We just talked about 2 points games. This is an under game.
Yeah. He giveth, he taketh, and this one's going to be pretty low scoring. 2 teams are used to playing in the cold, at least though.
Syracuse plays indoors.
That's true.
Minnesota.
I forgot it's the dome. Fuck. All right, let's rock Gophers then.
I'm definitely rocking Minnesota. I think Sean Tucker's sitting out this game.
Yeah, this is Minnesota. It's always been Minnesota.
All Golden Gophers, baby. Moving on, the Cheez-It Bowl.
Let's go.
From Campbell Stadium in Orlando, Florida. Oklahoma versus Florida State. My choice on this one is easy.
The line is Florida -9. I would
Florida
take
State?
it. Yeah, sorry, Florida State -9. I would take it at 18. I would take it doubled.
Vibes are terrible around Oklahoma. They're 6-6. The vibes are great around Florida State.
Yeah,
great vibes. Jordan Travis, I
think they have all their key players are going to be playing. He's not leaving unless he's injured.
I think.
I think he was fine at the end of the season. So, but yeah, they've been better all year.
9-win.
Yeah,
yep. I'm pretty sure that their running back stable, and their one of their better receivers, Ontario Wilson, they're all going to be back next year. This is going to be you want to look at a team that's going to be scary next year, or should be, is Florida State. Yeah, we're riding with the Noles. against at 5:30 on Thursday. Moving the clock to 9 o'clock on Thursday. The Alamo Bowl from the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. Texas versus Washington. Points game. Another points game.
Yeah, I guess so. It's not as apparent as the other ones that we talked about earlier.
It's a
sneaky points game.
I don't know if Bijan Robinson is playing for Texas, but they still got Quinn Ewers. And then Michael Penix is FBS's total yardage leader. Washington had a great offense this year. Is he going to be playing? I don't think. I think he has to level up his draft stock. I want to say because I looked it up. He has not declared for the draft. Let's see, why Michael Penix Jr. is making a huge mistake. If this loads, I can tell you what the rest of the title is. Oh, no, it's just ... I think he's playing. I think he has to play to up his draft stock. This is a fun game, though.
Yeah, I think it comes down to which Quinn Ewers are we going to get.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's a bowl game. It's his first bowl game. I'm going to go with Washington on this
Same
one.
here. Better uniforms. Love the purple.
I don't think that's true. I think that Texas has some of the best in the entire country.
I love Washington.
All white helmets on the burnt orange. It's a pretty sight, man.
All right. I'll give you that much.
There's only one purple team we root for, and that's TCU.
Ooh, I don't know.
Depending on the week.
All right. Moving on to Friday, December 30th, noon, the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Charlotte, North Carolina, Maryland versus NC State. I don't have a great read on this team because obviously Devin Leary's not playing. He's transferring to... Did he announce where he was going?
I haven't seen anything from him.
He actually might be going to Kentucky. Oh yeah, Devin Leary's transferring to Kentucky. I lied big time. It's not Grayson McCall.
Huh.
Yeah.
Where is Grayson McCall going?
He is not declared yet. A bunch of SEC teams are in contention, in quotes, or final. This one, Maryland has the chance to be pointsy. They got Talia. They got 3 good receivers. NC State, I don't really know what we're getting because they're down to their walk-on quarterback last time we saw them. But still, they beat UNC with a walk-on quarterback. It's red on red. Will Maryland be wearing the Maryland flag uniforms? Is the real question.
Do they still do that?
Yeah, they do. They do one game a year.
It would be great to just save it for a bowl game.
Yeah, but then what if you don't make a bowl?
Yeah. Well, that's a risk you have to take with the Terps, man. I'm gonna go. This is actually a pick'em, so.
Oh wow.
I'm going to go with the 23 ranked NC State Wolfpack. Basically This is in Charlotte, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, basically a home game for them.
Oh, yeah,
They'll be
yeah.
able to travel a little bit better. Not that, I don't know if that's going to have a huge impact on the game, but you never know. Little things like that matter sometimes.
I'm going to ride NC State because ACC. That's pretty much it. We're skipping over the Sun Bowl. That'll be in our preview next week. We'll do an in-depth preview, much better than the ones we're doing right now. Let's move on to the Gator Bowl out of Jacksonville, Florida. Notre Dame versus South Carolina. South Carolina is kind of a surprise 8-4 team. Obviously, those big upsets at the end of the year. I don't know if they've got 3 of them in them, though.
Yeah. This isn't a upset with the same magnitude as the others, I feel, though.
Yeah, I remember this line opened around 4.5. I don't know what it's at now.
It is currently at 2. Notre Dame is favored by 2.
Okay.
So this is going to be Vegas says this is going to be a close one. I'm kind of with you though. You only have so much magic with the Gamecocks.
This isn't a rival either. This is your in-state rival and another division rival.
They're the best team in the world when they're playing teams they hate. There's no history here. There's nothing. It's a bowl game. Give me the Irish.
Yeah, I'm going to ride Notre Dame as well. It was on 4:30 p.m. on Friday, December 30th. The Arizona Bowl, Ohio versus Wyoming. Congrats to Ohio for they won 8 games.
9-4.
9-4. They lost in the MAC championship. That's right.
Yep.
Really good year for them. I believe their starting quarterback is still out. He was out for the championship game, the reason why they lost in that one. I'm probably gonna go with Wyoming. I have a soft spot for Wyoming. Really cool stadium. I like their uniforms, but that's pretty much just a vibes pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Wildcats. I'm gonna go with Ohio.
They're the Bobcats, not the Wildcats.
I totally knew that too. Because
Shame. All right, last bowl preview of this episode: the Capital One Orange Bowl out of Miami, Florida, Hard Rock Stadium. The
orangest bowl.
It's the orangest bowl. Tennessee versus Clemson. I don't. My mind tells me this should be a good game, but no Hendon Hooker. So it's
no DJ.
Well,
that's a plus.
That's a plus.
Both teams were without their starting quarterback. One got better because of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's the Joe Milton experience, right?
Yeah.
You're just gonna chuck it and pray.
Yeah.
He will throw it far.
He will throw it far. He will throw it hard. On just like a hitch, he would throw it 80 miles an hour.
Yeah. I mean, Joe Milton is essentially a mortar. Like you can fire it. You don't know where it's gonna hit, but it'll get in the area.
The good news is, if it's hard to catch for the offense, it's probably hard to catch for the defense too.
That's true.
Yeah, but I just think that Tennessee is the better team all around. Clemson's actually 6-point favorites, which I think is pretty surprising. But they're also, I don't know.
I think I like Tennessee in this one. I think Tennessee is going to win. That also might just be the Clemson hater in me.
Mm-hmm. I think this is going to be like the one game that I don't pick, the ACC, and I'm going to go with Tennessee in this one.
Yeah. This one, I'm also looking forward to this one. Like, this is sort of right before New Year's Day bowls. Should be good. I think this one
playoff caliber game, if we're being honest.
I think out of all like the big bowls, this one has the biggest chance to turn into like a stinker fast. Maybe this and the Sugar Bowl with Alabama, Kansas State.
Yeah.
So this one's sort of a watch and see. This is it's listed as 7:30/8 o'clock. I don't know when it's starting.
ESPN says 8 p.m.
Okay, 8 p.m. We'll go with that. Maybe there's a pregame show.
Yeah. Keep your hand on the trigger finger for 7:30 just in case. Flip back and forth.
Hit that last button like your life depends on it.
Yeah. That is like the best part about bowl season, and there also being NFL on and college basketball and NBA. Like you can just there are games and games and games.
Is
right
there
now.
NFL on New Year's Eve?
No, you're right. Not for this one, but
A lot of college basketball for sure.
More so the bowl games in general.
Yeah, for sure.
On the weekends.
It's a great time to be a sports fan. Mm-hmm. All right. That'll do it. That concludes Act 2 of our bowl previews. Like we said earlier, on next week's show, we'll be covering all the New Year's Eve bowls. The New Year's Day bowl just moved to January 2nd. By the way, I hate that. If New Year's Day falls on a Sunday, they move the games a day later because of the NFL. Screw that. Tell the NFL to go kick rocks. Put the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day. I
mean, they literally own that day of the week. They will never. I'm just going to let you down easy. That's never going to happen.
Oh, it's never going to happen. I'm just telling them to fuck it, be legends.
Is this because? Be honest with me. Is this because the Jets are taking a dive right now?
I plead the fifth. Listen, I've talked to my lawyer. He advised not to answer that question. But
that is within your rights, sir.
And listen, if you like the episode, get a lawyer. You might need it. We won't say why. But this has been Simplified Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. As always, make sure to follow the podcast on Twitter at SimplifiedPod. You can follow the hosts from the bio of the show, me, Mason, and Kent. We'll be back next week. You know, he's still canvassing for that NIL money. We don't know how it's going. He may have been abducted again. We're gonna have to do Find My iPhone. Keep it crossing international borders. Yeah, we snuck an air tag in his bag without him knowing. Yeah. So we'll check his location here soon and make sure he's all right. Listen, we're he'll be fine. He's a big boy. Yeah, he can handle it. Also, shout out to Pitt men's basketball, 2-0 in the ACC. We're going undefeated. Let's go, baby. Stop the count right now. And with that, we'll see you next week. Got a Pitt.
Bye.